I'm more of a writer than a public speaker, so bear with me. I am Steve Poyzer, as Chris noted. I'm the outreach director for the New York State 10th Amendment Center. We are not only a state organization, but we are a national organization. We're in every state in the country right now, trying to get things done. I've been told I have about 5 minutes by Max here, so I want to get started really quick, and I'm going to run through this stuff as fast as I can. As you know, since about the late 1800s, there have been factions in our government, political parties, and society that have been whittling away at our Constitution, denying its relevance as the foundational rule of law of our nation. In the 30s, the 10th Amendment, specifically, was pretty much gutted. It was almost rendered meaningless by activist judges and politicians who, by that time, for all practical purposes, were ignoring the Constitution completely. Today, as we celebrate the 235th anniversary of our Declaration of Independence, we're living in a time where the 6th District Court has decided to uphold Obama's care individual mandate, making us nothing more than a product to be regulated or wards of the state. And the TSA, our security organization, blatantly violates the most basic Fourth Amendment protections of the individual freedom of travelers, children, and wheelchair-bound seniors. You may wonder how this relates to the 10th Amendment. In the entire Bill of Rights, the 10th Amendment primarily stands alone in actually defining the delegation of powers for our government, and therefore the independence of the states and individuals in our republic. And to read the 10th Amendment, and I quote, "The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited to it by the states, are reserved to the states or the people, or to the people." That clearly defines that the people and the states are the sole creators of the federal government's authority, not vice versa. In the second paragraph of the Declaration of Independence, it is written that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, the individuals, the citizens of this nation. Did we, the people, consent to the abusive powers we have seen over the past century? Did the states grant the federal government these powers? The answer to both questions is a resounding no. They haven't. So what is the 10th Amendment Center doing? Since its creation by Michael Bolden out in California about 5 years ago, actually our anniversary was last week, across the nation, the 10th Amendment chapters have been rallying, educating, and promoting state legislations to nullify unconstitutional federal mandates and actions and promote state sovereignty. In several states, we've had some really good victories. Currently, right now, we're engaged in the TSA groping battle down in Texas. And please write letters down to the Texas legislature that's still in session. Tell them that you want that bill passed because they've been stalling on it. In New York, I was telling somebody earlier, we probably live in the worst state of the union as far as regulation and taxes and everything else. But in New York, we've been in contact with groups like this and legislators promoting the ideals and mission of the 10th Amendment Center. My fingers don't work anymore. In New York, we've been in contact with groups and legislators promoting our ideals and mission of the 10th Amendment Center, as well as offering draft legislation to the legislators that they can just refine using New York State's information and submit as a bill on the floor of the Senate or the Assembly. Right now, well, in 2009, 2 pieces of legislation were put on the floor. One by Senator Seward to protect our health care freedom of choice and to neutralize any penalties or fines levied by the federal government for non-compliance with Obamacare. The second bill was introduced by Senator Nozzolio and took the form of a resolution confirming our state sovereignty. The New York State 10th Amendment Center is pleased to tell you that both bills have been reintroduced for the 2011-2012 legislative session and have been renumbered S-2362 and J-1064 respectively. One of the reasons why I wanted to be here today is because basic physics tells us that nothing moves without external force or motivation. We at the 10th Amendment Center are counting on you folks to be the motivation that keeps our legislation that we've got there moving and any new legislation that we present moving. But we need your support, we need your force, we need you writing your Congress or your assemblymen and your senators and tell them that you want these bills passed. You want state sovereignty, you want the health care bill nullified. I want to thank you for allowing the 10th Amendment Center to speak here today. I want to thank Jim Delaney for printing up all of our flyers that we have back there at the table. Please help yourself to them. My card's back there. It's got the address for the state website, and that'll get you to the national website. And we're also now on the radio on the internet, and that's at radio.10thamendmentcenter.com. So, thank you. And I just got the sign that took us too much time.